Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Professor Yalengi speaking to you from New York City. We are launching, beginning today, a weekly show that we are going to be doing in English on YouTube on our account, Congo Coalition. So we are calling this Congo Coalition TV. And because today is the first show, we are titling it Rwandan-Occupied DRC Introduction. Rwandan-Occupied DRC Introduction. Again, my name is Professor Yalengi, originally from the DRC, and I am an author, I am a leader in a community, I am a writer, I am a speaker, and of course, I am one of those who have been fighting to try to stop the atrocities that have been taking place in the DRC, at the least since 1996. And so the reason why we're calling the show Rwandan-Occupied DRC Introduction, because the Democratic Republic of Congo has been occupied by Rwanda and Uganda now, at least officially since 2001. So the show is going to be about providing the evidence that the country of DRC is occupied and has been occupied by Rwanda, Kagame's Rwanda, and the man that is known as Yoweri Museveni's Uganda, though that's not his real name, and we will speak about this in our coming shows. So today being the introduction, I want to ask those who are going to watch this show to please pass it on, distribute it, and share it with all of your contacts so that they can expect a show in English every week about Rwandan-occupied DRC. And hopefully, through what we are going to be presenting here and the involvement of those who are going to also view it and the information we are going to provide will help galvanize at least those outside of DRC to come together so that we can get the forces to go, hopefully, and kick out Rwandan occupants or occupiers in the DRC. Because if we say Rwandan occupied DRC, it means that today it is Kagame's Rwanda and Museveni's Uganda that controlled most of the DRC. Or we can say Kagame's Rwanda controls the entire DRC, whereas Uganda or Museveni's Uganda controls the northeastern part of the DRC. So this is what our show is going to be about. As an introduction today, I provided you with the map of the East African colony of the country of Germany, or otherwise Germany's East African colony. When we say Germany's East African colony, what we're talking about is during the time of colonial Africa, let's say beginning 1884 and at least 1919, after Germany lost the First World War from 14 to 18, then Germany's colonies were taken away from them because Germany had lost the First World War, and therefore those colonies were distributed amongst the Allies. Why we are starting with the colony of Germany? Because later on, we are going to provide you with the evidence that Paul Kagame's Rwanda has been lying to the entire international world community about their past. In other words, Paul Kagame's Rwanda has been lying to all the countries, including the United Nations, that their presence in the DRC goes back to the 1800s. That's the lies that are put out in even documentations that have been provided to foreign governments, to international institutions. And we have seen this even on official sites of the United States of America, of Canada, of many countries, even European countries, where they have written that the presence of Congo, of Rwandan, such as Rwandan Tutsis, or let's say Tutsis or Hutus, or something they are calling Banyamulenges, which doesn't exist, or let's say Banyarwanda, which is a term that only means those who live in Rwanda, or the people of Rwanda. So Paul Kagame's Rwanda has lied to the entire communities, international communities, to say that the presence in the Congo goes back to the 1800s. Whereas the colonial history of Africa, which officially starts with the Berlin Conference that starts in November 1884 and ends in February 1885 in Brussels. At this conference, there were limitations of the territories that those European powers at the time had conquered. And Germany at the time had the colony that we have on a map at the beginning of this show. And I can show you from my cell phone, because I don't have the map. If you can view it a little bit, what you are seeing there in green or blue or light blue, that's the East African colony of Germany. And on this side, on the other side, you see the Democratic Republic of the Congo. At that time was called Belgium Congo. So again, what you are seeing in blue, that is what was called Germany's East African colony, that included today's Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi. That blue, that what you have in blue. In other words, in 1800, there was no Tutsi or Hutu in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which was called then Belgium Congo, because Rwanda and Burundi were part of East African colony of Germany. In other words, Germany controlled that entire territory. And in that entire territory, they spoke the language that German people speak, right? Which is German. Just like in Belgium, Congo, at the time, they used the language, the French language. Even though in Belgium, they speak, I think, 2 languages besides French. They use also, there's another language they use. The name is going to come to me, right? But in Belgium, Congo, they spoke French. In East Germany colony, they spoke German. Who spoke the language? Today's Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi. In other words, it's a lie for Paul Kagame's Rwandans to say their presence in what we call today DRC or Belgium Congo goes back to the 1800s. Rwanda and Burundi were a very small kingdom that was called then Rwanda-Urundi. Rwanda-Urundi, that the Germans had taken and put together and controlled from, let's say, for going from 1884 until 1919. Therefore, If you go even before 1884, when these European powers were grabbing territories all over Africa, Germany had already taken Rwanda, Urundi, and what we call today Tanzania and put them together. And the Tutsis and the Hutus being a small group of people that lived both in Rwanda and Burundi, there were no time, or they could not be moved, or their people moved to what we call today Belgium Congo, because at that time it was a small kingdom. And when somebody says small kingdom, meaning what? It is a unit, a small property that is by itself, self-control. The kingdom of Rwanda, Urundi. So therefore, what we want to start here today is with the fact that before 1919, there were no presence of either Tutsis or Hutus, which is the only two groups that inhabit Rwanda beside the Tua people. So that today, Paul Kagame's Rwanda and in their campaign to try to put themselves in the DRC for the aims that we're going to talk about later, they have come up with all kind of lies